Hello and welcome to the channel everyone. In today's video we will be talking about 14 cool things you don't know about your brain. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on the bell icon to get notified on our future videos. Without further ado, let's kickstart the video.
Number 1. The human brain is much more efficient than computers in every way. The brain's storage capacity is virtually unlimited, and both short-term and long-term memories are stored at the same time in the brain. Quick and easy access to information makes it easy for us to forget. Being able to quickly access data and information makes our brains more likely to not remember, which means the more difficult it is to access data, the more likely the human brain remembers. The brain starts forming memories right from the womb. This could occur as early as 4 months into pregnancy. The brain's memory is prioritized by emotion. This could also mean that a lot of our memories are unintended flawed fiction, therefore emotions can drastically alter our brain chemistry. According to Huffington's Post, the chemical reactions stirred by our feelings can be physically seen in brain scans and studies of gray matter. An average human brain processes about 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And an estimated 60 to 70% of those thoughts are negative. Number 2. The human brain is the organ that colors objects we perceive with our eyes, therefore color is a sensation created in the brain. Popular neuroscientist Bo Lotto described color as a figment of our imagination, that only exists in our heads. There are 7 main colors in the brain, which are red, green, blue, orange, yellow, indigo and violet, which normally appear naturally in the environment. Everything else we see in our lives is a part of those main 7, which make up our experience of the earth. The colors purple and pink, technically are not real. They don't occur in nature, but instead they are a Frankenstein's monster mix of the other colors. For example, when red and blue are mixed together, the brain produces purple. Number 3. The brain is composed mainly of fat. Almost 60% of fat and 75% is mostly water, so it only takes 2% dehydration to affect your attention and memory. The brain creates roughly around 10 to 23 watts of electricity, which is typically enough to power a low wattage light bulb. The human brain has about 100,000 miles of blood vessels, which is unbelievably enough to circle the earth 4 times. Every time your heart beats, your arteries carry 20 to 25% of your blood to the brain. Number 4. In general, men's brains are 10% bigger than women's, even after taking into account larger body size. However, the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain strongly linked to memory, is typically larger in women. Regardless, size doesn't really matter in the brain. There is no evidence that a larger brain is smarter than a smaller brain. Number 5. The brain at least contains roughly 86 billion brain cells called neurons that communicate in trillions of connections called synapses. Each neuron can transmit 1,000 nerve impulses per second and make as many as tens of thousands of synaptic contacts with other neurons. A piece of brain tissue the size of a grain of sand contains 100,000 neurons and 1 billion synapses, all communicating with each other. All brain cells are not alike. There are as many as 10,000 specific types of neurons in the brain. Number 6. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest geniuses to ever walk the earth, had a brain that weighed 2.71 pounds, which is around 1,230 grams, roughly 10% smaller than the average of 3 pounds, which is 1,360 grams. But surprisingly, the neuron density of his brain was greater than average. Number 7. It's not true that we only use 10% of our brain, we actually use all of it. Even when fast asleep we use about 10% of our brain. This is further proved by our ability to dream. Dreams are believed to be a combination of imagination and neurological factors. It proves that your brain is working even when you are asleep. Neurologists confirm that your brain is always active. Number 8. While humans have the largest brains proportional to body weight of all animals, we don't have the biggest brains. The record belongs to sperm whales, which possess a whopping 17-pound brain. Human brains have gotten significantly smaller over the past 20,000 years. The human brain matures at the age of 25, and as you get older your brain gets smaller. The human brain begins to lose some memory abilities as well as some cognitive skills by your late 20s. Number 9. Overly relying on GPS to navigate destroys the brain's innate sense of direction, a skill that took our ancestors thousands of years to develop. When areas of the brain involved in navigation are no longer used, those neural connections fade away via a process known as synaptic pruning. Number 10. There is a kind of headache called brain freeze. Brain freeze or ice cream headache is an intense pain in the head caused by eating or drinking something cold. Brain freeze happens when you rapidly eat or drink something that's extremely cold. As you take in the cold content quickly, it immediately chills the blood vessels and arteries at the back of your throat, which includes the ones that take blood to your brain. The coldness makes everything to shrink, and once your body produces heat they re-expand, and as a result cause a rapid onset headache. It's not serious and goes away in a few seconds or minutes. Number 11. When heavily intoxicated the brain can't form new memories. So technically you can't forget what happened when you were drunk or tipsy because the memory was never formed. Alcohol affects your brain in ways that include blurred vision, slurred speaking, an unsteady walk, and many more. These usually disappear once you become sober again. However, if you drink often for long periods of time, there is evidence that alcohol can affect your brain permanently and not reverse once you become sober again. Number 12. Although the brain can process pain, the organ itself cannot feel pain. This is why brain surgeries can occur while a patient is awake, without discomfort. However, the brain can feel happiness, joy, excitement, and love. Contrary to what people say, the feeling of love actually happens in the brain. Number 13. The human brain easily gets bored. Research has found that every 10 minutes you need something that sparks you emotionally to hit the reset button on your attention. However, even if your brain gets bored, it never loses focus on survival. It's your body's command center, so survival is always the first priority. That means your brain constantly makes decisions about safety and solves problems to keep you safe. Number 14. Lack of sleep and dieting may force the brain to eat itself. Not sleeping is more dangerous than you think. Research projects show, the brain starts eating its own connections, debris, and worn-out cells when it doesn't get enough sleep. Also the brain self-cannibalizes or eats itself when you starve yourself. That will be all for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video please do give us a like, leave a comment in the comments section and please share the video. Also a sub to our channel will be greatly appreciated.